Hey designers, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel Design with Pramod. Let's do designing together. In today's session, let's try to design this calendar component, guys, with the help of some features of Figma and with the help of some AI features, we can actually speed up our design process, guys. And with the help of these things, we'll try to design this calendar component, and don't skip till the end. Try to follow and you will learn something great today. Now, if you guys can see here, we have this calendar component where we have month, year, and this is roughly designed calendar component, guys. And I'll be showing you guys how we can actually use these features of auto layout, and we'll try to show how I am actually repeating or speeding my content filling details with the help of AI. Now, what I'm doing, I'm trying to draw random one frame, and this is my frame for now. So what I'm doing here, I'm actually activating 7 rows and 7 columns. So I'm just activating that grid system for now. And what I'm doing, I'm trying to replicate these things here. All right. So let's try to use these numbers for now. So I'll show you guys how we can actually use the AI features here. All right. So let me try to enter some Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. For now, I'll just copy these things here. I'm just copying these things here. We can anyway use these later. All right. I'm just copying and pasting here. These are my days of a week. All right. So let me try to use these numbers. So let's try to use, if you guys can see here, right, these are filled by default now with wise. Now what I'll do, I'll try to enter one text here outside of that frame, that is like 01 number, and those are my numbers, and I'll try to use this text color to black. And now I'll try to apply auto layout on this one. I'll show you guys in a bit why I applied the auto layout. If you guys come here and drag and drop that number, right, this is like having some gap here in the bottom and gap here at the right in this grid. So for that, what we have to do, if that frame whatever we have entered with a number, right, we have to apply some auto layout properties like fill container, width wise, and even height wise also. I'll apply the fill container. So if you fill some random color here, right, so it will show you the difference. So if you guys can see here, because of our fill container width wise, right, no matter how much you stretch or shrink this frame 96, the ghost whatever we have there, it is like responding with this respective size. All right. And if you guys can see here, right, you can actually reduce your gaps between these columns. All right, that can be either 4 or 2 pixel for now. If you guys can see here, right, that gap is reducing, and that filled item is responding with respect to whatever grid we have. I hope that is helpful for you guys. Let's try to remove this fill container for now to white. So if you guys can see here, right, so I'm just duplicating them, and these are actually getting into perfect places without any placement issues, without any padding issues. All right, so we'll try to select these numbers and we'll try to use the AI feature, and that is like, I'm just giving the prompt to the AI, and that is like a rewrite feature what Figma has released, and it will help us to replicate the numbers, give numbers ranging from 26 to 31. So if you can see here, right, so this actually understood there are only places till 30, so that is why it actually gave me those many numbers only. I asked it to add till 31, but AI understood, right, there are some boxes which are limited for you, till 30 only you can enter, and that is magical, right? That actually helped me speed up my understanding and design as well. Let's try to reduce the opacity to 20 pixel, and those looks great out now. Let's try to increase its opacity to 100%. Now we have our zero number, and the same way what I'm doing, I'm just trying to duplicate all these numbers. If you guys can see here, right, I'm just clicking on Command D to duplicate my numbers, and till how many days we want, 31st, right? So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to ask the AI to rewrite my numbers ranging from 01 to 31, and let's try to hit enter. And now you will see the magic. So this is actually writing with the text under those things, but we want to make the changes again. Let's try to change these to integer numbers, and I'm hitting enter. Now we have our numbers ranging from 1 to 31. All right, so these are my numbers, and we'll try to copy some of these numbers. So let me delete this one again, and I have to go here and disable that row because I am good with only 7 by 7. And this is my date selector, guys. Now we have used this grid with the help of this auto layout features, and now we'll try to add these missing things here. This is like custom header for me now, and we'll try to apply auto layout on this one. My habit is whenever I try to add something here, I always keep adding auto layout on those elements, no matter whatever it is. I at least look at this left panel. I keep adding auto layout because of some reason in later future, if you add some of the alignments, some of the filling content or whatever, right, these will be helpful. And whenever I try to design very complex items, right, I'll try to explain you guys why I keep adding those auto layouts, right? So let's try to select this one, and let's try to have some font weight to medium, and let's try to have this to black, and let's fill this with white color, and this is perfect. And now let me try to have these things here, month and year. So month, I add auto layout again, and I'll just add one more year box, and I'll try to select this frame 140 and 141, and I'll try to apply auto layout. And now if you guys can see here, this the horizontal flow is activated because we have applied auto layout. If I click on this vertical, right, the flow of the elements will be like vertically aligned. Now let's keep it to horizontal, and let's try to fill these with white color, and let's try to use these text color to black. And now we have these two elements, and we'll try to apply some border radius around 6 pixels. Now we have our border radius applied, and we'll try to reduce the gap between these two to 0 pixels. Now we have our one more month and year selector, and we'll try to go here and we'll try to select these frame 139, that is also auto layout enabled frame, and this is also auto layout enabled frame. So what I'll do, I'll try to go here. Maybe there are two ways I can do that. So not to increase many number of frames, what I'm doing, I'm just copying this one or cutting from here, and I'm just selecting this frame and I'm applying auto layout. I'm actually pasting here and to frame 139, having this auto layout enabled thing, we can actually align them vertically, and this is magical, right? So our elements are aligned vertically. I'll try to add the stroke, and that stroke color can be D for me. I always use divider D, and I can actually easily remember that D color. That is why I use it. And let me try to use this bold color, and because that is her header, and let's try to have these elements there, the 2025, that is my year. And let me try to apply the auto layout on this one. Frame corner radius can be 6 pixels. Since we have used 6 pixels here, to keep it consistent, I'm actually using frame. All right, and let me try to have the border to D, and let's have this color to black. Cool. Now we wanted to have this arrow, right? Because of that auto layout, what I have to do, I have to just paste here. Now that is into perfect place. So now what I'll do, I'll go here and cut this one, and I'll select this frame and I'll try to copy that. Now I'll show you guys how you can actually arrange these things horizontally or vertically with the help of this flow, right? And I'll just apply auto layout here. Now it is center alignment because it is actually detecting what place it is exactly into. That is why it is actually showing. And now you can actually align this to the left or right. But now we want this to be horizontally aligned. So what I'm doing, I'm just selecting this one and I'm just giving this flow to horizontal. All right, now you guys can see that, right? This is perfectly aligned with that perfect gap. And now we'll try to go, and since this is center aligned, right, this custom header is aligned into the center. Now we'll go and align to the left. Now we have our perfectly looking element guide. If I want to duplicate this one, right, I can duplicate because our width is hug for now, and we'll try to select this frame 139 because now we'll try to select this frame 139 and frame 96 together, and we'll try to hit auto layout. So that is how we have to apply or play with the auto layout, guys. And we'll try to use this hug to fill container to fill this with. Now I'll undo one step back and I'll show you guys what I did to fill this one. So I'll use this frame 145, and this is by default hug now, because with these many numbers of item, you can actually hug these two elements together. Now we have to fill that, right? So what we'll do, we'll try to use the fill container with this container. And now we have the gap is like 95 pixels here. If you can reduce that to 0, we can reduce that to 0. We have reduced it to 0, and we'll try to add the bottom stroke. Now we have our element, and we'll try to use corner radius to 10 pixels. Now we have added the border radius, but there is something wrong, and that is very easy fix, guys. You just have to enable this clip content, and that actually added us the border radius because it was going out of the frame. That is why I'm just clipping it and I'm trying to fill in this frame. And that looks magical and interesting, right, to play with all these features from the Figma. And now we have perfectly looking calendar component, guys. And this is how we actually use the features of Figma, and we actually perfectly design our elements. And that's all about our calendar component design, guys. And I hope you guys learned something great today. If you do, hit the like button and share with the learners. See you. Bye bye.